Hi everyone, it's Suzanne the Beauty Shaman, and I'm coming to you this week to talk about a question that I get asked quite frequently actually is how can I do more of a dramatic look or a smoky-eyed look on me being older, like 40 and up. That's all of you, right? So how do I do that? Can I do that? Because so many women try to do the smoky look and it's either overdone or doesn't quite work. Smoky look is actually fairly challenging to do, but I'm going to give you some really good basic techniques to use so that you can do it. A lot of the smoky look comes down to contouring and working with the pigments of the colors that you have. I'm going to try to use as few colors as possible just to simplify it for you. So before we get started, I just want to say, please subscribe if you've not already subscribed and follow me on Instagram. It's Suzanne Blondes, B as in boy, Lons, Beauty Shaman. So I'd love to have your comments, suggestions, and any other videos that you'd be interested in seeing. I really want to produce great content for all of you wonderful, beautiful women out there. Okay, so to start off with, I've done a little bit of makeup already, of course, because I didn't want to spend all my time on everything else because we're focusing on eyes today. But I basically have done foundation, a little bit of concealer, some little bit of contour in my cheeks, and some cheek color and lipstick. So I'm wearing a purpley dress. So I wanted to go with kind of the rosy tones. You can go, basically you have to make up your mind on, are you going to go rosy or are you going to go peachy, warm tones, warm or cool? So today I decided to go with the cool tones because of what I'm wearing. If I was wearing a warm top, like I love oranges and reds and things like that, and then I would go with a warmer tone lipstick. I've also done kind of a not a bright color. Okay, this is a little bit soft. There's a method to my madness. Is that if you have to pick a body part. Okay, so if you're going to do eyes, like a heavy eye or a more dramatic eye, then you want to go more soft on the mouth. And if you're going to go heavy duty lip, then you go soft on the eye. I've actually done a tutorial where I make up someone else and I do a red lip on a blonde. I'll go ahead and put that in the upper corner there so you can follow it, so you can watch it. But that's when you do a darker lip. But this one is a sheer lip, softer lip, and we're going to work on eyes. Okay. So I've already done all the under kind of work. I do want to bring up what I use so that you all have that. So first of all, skincare is so important, especially if you're going to be doing dramatic eyes because, you know, we're older, right? So we get lines, and I get puffiness under my eyes. So it's really important to use really good skincare so that these are softer. I do get facials. I get microdermabrasion facials once a month, and I don't do Botox or any of that stuff. If you do, that's fine. I just letting you know what I do and don't do. I also really love Truth Treatments. I've done a video on this. Love this product. So this is the serum. You can just use this morning and night with nothing else if you're in a humid climate or a warmer climate. I live in a very dry climate, so I have to use also the Truth Balm, which is like a moisturizer. These products are fabulous. There's no more than 9 ingredients in any of his Ben Fuchs products. I think they're so great. I've done a video on them, so do watch that. But I use these morning and night, and they basically, there's no eye cream. You don't even need eye cream. You just use the serum around your eyes, and it really softens up wrinkles and lines and things like that. So totally recommend those. Okay, then I did foundation, and I used, I think this is MAC. I think I put a MAC, I don't even remember. I did a MAC Face and Body, which I love because it's kind of a sheer foundation, which I like. And then I did FX under my eye. That's a great concealer. And then I did a little, see, I do like 100 products because I'm in this business. I don't want to overwhelm you. I'm just going to put the basics. I did put a little highlighter on, but you know, I'm just going to put that in the credits. I don't want to overwhelm you all with all this stuff. Okay. One last thing I do want to mention is I have hyperpigmentation over my eyelids. So if you see me with no eye makeup on, I look kind of weird. So I do a little bit of eye base, and I use this MAC product called Painterly. It's a pro longwear eye pot, and has great coverage to it, and I just put it, you can see how light my lids are. That's from that. I wanted to let you all know that I did that. And you can kind of see my hyperpigmentation. I don't always try to cover it. They feel like it's a part of me. Who cares, right? Okay, so let's move on. Moving on. All right, so everything else is done. I'm just going to focus on eyes. Okay, first thing with your eyes is your eyebrows. I've done a video on eyebrows too, so watch that one. But I do want to point out that the number one big difference you can make to your face is your eyebrows. If you want to change anything, change that. You can get them shaped differently. I shape my own because I've been doing this for a million years. I am going to fill them in a little bit. So I use a slanted brush, and then I'm using a warm eyeshadow. I'm just using this out of my collection. I don't even know what this is. I think this is Lancome. But you just want to use a color that basically matches and goes slightly lighter than your hair. That's my opinion. Because you don't want like Groucho Marx eyebrows, right? So then I just take it and I just fill it in slightly. I really don't do a huge amount because I have pretty substantial eyebrows. So I'm careful not to overdo it. I need to get a haircut. That's tomorrow. Christy wasn't free today to do my hair. All right, and then I just kind of follow it and bring it down. I'm sticking with this uppermost line here because I want to shape that. Really want to give it a, see that lovely shape, and then I just kind of softly just blend it in. And I always rub my finger over the top. I don't like to see a lot of lines on women over 40. I really want everything to be super soft. I work in television for those of you who don't know. So I make up a lot of people who go on camera. I do print, I do weddings. I kind of do the gamut here in Colorado. But I love the soft lines. Now, if you're, in your 20s and you want more of a dramatic look, go ahead and do stronger lines. But for older women, I just don't like it. Especially, if you're just representing yourself and you're just going on camera, you're not trying to be a fashion guru or anything, and you want to look normal, relatively, whatever that means, right? Some of us are less normal than others. Okay, so there we go. So just filled them in. So I love how that just kind of highlights my eye. Okay, now we're going to do a little bit of, I grabbed the wrong brush. Okay, here we go. We're going to use this brush, a flat-headed brush. And I'm going to use a lot of this palette here. I really like this palette. So I did a review for this company. This is called Deck of Scarlet. I really like this. It's a subscription-based makeup line. Every month you get a new palette in the mail. It's fabulous. I'm going to use a couple colors from this. Do watch that video if you're interested in this. I think it's a great idea. I'm going to do just kind of just in the inner part of your eye. And you want to put that flat against your eye. That's how you're going to really get the product on there. Okay. Now I'm going to do some contour. Okay. So contour is super important if you're going for a dramatic eye. So here's my contours. Okay. Because I work professionally. This is really dirty and mucky because I don't clean it very much. I'm not a good housekeeper. But I'm going to use this color here. It's actually a powder. You can use just regular powder as opposed to eyeshadow. And I'm going to just do it in the crease because I want to really, I want to add depth to my eye. Okay. So I'm going right in the crease with sort of a brush like that. This is actually Boomy brushes. They're synthetic, but they grab the color. They're great. Almost every line makes brushes. Depends on what you want to spend. Okay. So see, I'm really putting it in there and then I'm blending it up. Be careful not to go too much on your brow bone because we're going to use a different color up here. Okay. Just to highlight it. Now, again, this is more smoky eye. It's a little bit more involved than just the 5-minute, let's go out the door kind of look. Okay. It's hard for me to tell if these are even because I have uneven light on me a little bit. So excuse me if I'm all weird here. So I'm just bringing it up, being careful not to wing it, right? Don't do any like 1980s wing. Okay. And then I'm going to also use this brush. This is kind of a flathead as well, but really small. You can actually use just about any brush for this, but I'm going to use the same color and I'm going to go underneath. Now, I'm not a fan of a lot of color under your eye as you get older, but this is a really soft contour brown. See? Now, depending on your skin color, I'm a whitey, so just go like 1 to 2 shades darker than your own skin. If you're African American, you just want to go that bit darker, okay? Or you can use plums. Plums are phenomenal as contour color. Just really depends on what you're looking for, but that's the kind of rule of thumb, okay? And then I'm going to use that same color and I'm going to run it right over the top. Just running it over the top of my lashes, okay? Just remembering if I turn my phone off. If my phone goes off, it's my best friend, Jackie, calling me. Okay, here we go. All right, so right next to the lashes. Great. Now what this does is you're kind of building, okay? You're building on what you're creating. And already you can see my eyes have a lot more dimension to them. I'm going to do a little bit up here just for kicks and giggles, just to show you how to do that. So I'm just going to use an even lighter. I'm going to kind of match my skin and go slightly lighter. That has a nice reflective quality to it. This is from the deck of Scarlet. It's called Stardust. And I'm going to use that same color a little bit down here. Watch out for getting too much highlight in lines and wrinkles because it'll highlight them, which we don't want. So just go easy on that stuff, but you can see what I did. Okay, next trick. This is the big trick when it comes to doing smoky eyes is you take your waterproof eyeliner. This is MAC Kajal liner. This is espresso. Unless I'm a whitey, so I think if you're a whitey, going with black is tricky. But like a espresso brown is really good, or you could do plums. I mean, you really have some options here. Dark greens are really nice depending on your eye color. The darker your skin, the more you can use black, okay? But I'm not going to use black because I'm a whitey. So that's how you make those kind of choices. And I'm going to go in my waterline underneath, okay? For those of you who have a hard time with this and you can't see, this is always a tricky thing. It takes practice. See how I'm just running it under, but it really pops your eye. Okay, and I'm going to do the exact same thing on top. Now I pull my eye. Go ahead and yell at me. I pull my eye just a little bit because I want to see. A lot of that for me is an eyesight thing. I just can't not do that. Okay, there we go. And you notice I'm not being very particular. I'm basically running it right between my skin and my lashes. Just kind of lightly running it. Now I'm going to correct the unevenness of it here in a second. And you'll see that. But you're putting it on top. See how I'm layering? All right, now I'm going to take this. I know I'm using a lot of brushes, so forgive me for that. But, if you're going to do a smoky eye, you do kind of have to invest. Okay, so far, I've used this many brushes. Sorry. Try not to overwhelm you. I will put these in the credits so you know what's what. I do think it's important to have at least this one, and this one to do a smoky eye. You can kind of make it with those three, okay? But I do this for a living, so a little bit overly obsessed, I think. Okay, so now I'm going to do we're going to take this color here. It's like a dark brown, like an espresso brown-eyed shadow. And I'm going to put it, and I'm sticking with the browns here with the smoky eye. I want to show you how to use those. And I'm brushing it on top. But I'm adding a lot more. Notice how much more I'm doing because I'm doing a smoky eye. And I just want to run it up there. And I'm going to just take this and run it up in here. Look at that. And I'm going to blend this all in, okay? So you'll see how I do that. Running that here. All the way along. And up on the outer edge. And tiny bit underneath. Careful not to go too much underneath. One of my pet peeves, because we have this, we have, different things as we age, just keep it on the outer edge. Don't go overboard. Okay, so good. Now I'm going to blend this in. So I've only used a couple colors here, if you've noticed. So I'm just now tapping into a little bit of this. It's like a bronzy brown. So I'm just brown. You know what I mean? And you don't have to use a bronzy brown. You can use the same eyeliner color if you want. I like a little tiny bit of shimmer if I'm doing a smoky eye. I'm going out at night. And this is a bit more of a bronze, so that's why I'm doing that. But you don't have to. And if you decide to do this with gray or charcoal, those are great colors, especially if you have brown eyes. Brown eyes and charcoal is fabulous, or like any shade of blue. If you have blue eyes, blue, gray, warm brown, charcoal, any of those for those colors. And if you have black eyes and you have dark skin, go with black. Rock and roll, right? I can't really get away with it, unfortunately, because I'm such a whitey. And I look really overdone in black. So even when I wear black, it's a little too stark for my skin anymore, unfortunately. Okay, so there you go. That's a nice you know, you can see what that did. Now, if you want to go even further and you want to jazz it up even more, I'm going to take from the deck of Scarlet that has this kind of charcoal color called Gravity. Going to pull up Gravity and just on the outer edge. This is what makes it look really polished, is just doing sections like that. Like, see what that did? Just highlighted it a little bit more and added depth. Dark recedes, light brings out. It's a painting rule. So basically, that's what you're doing. And I use my fingers. I do a lot of things that people say not to do because I don't really care what people tell me to do. So there you go. So very nice. I like this. Sorry, I had to lean forward a little bit. Don't want to lose you all, but just checking my work. Okay, so, and then I can go even more. I can bring it out even more if you want, like really do a smoky, cover my lids even more. But I have small lids, and what I find is if I go too dark right on my lid, what happens is my eye goes in because I have deep set eyes. If you have big lids, man, you can just take that color and run it all the way over the top. So it really depends on your eye shape. If you have smaller eyes, you want to be really careful not to overdo it because it's going to look overdone easily. If you have big eyes, you can kind of play a little bit more. So there you go. That's how you do a smoky eye on a woman over 40. So please put your comments and suggestions down below. Also, I will put all that I put on my face so that you can see it. Okay. Again, subscribe, follow me, and thank you so much for watching The Beauty Shaman.